Hi, this is Alex Fernandez with Bud and Doug Walters Auto Sales here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Today I'll be doing a video going over the primary features inside of this 2019 Subaru Forester. We'll begin by talking about the touchscreen and then the buttons down below it. We'll work our way down to the climate control, then back to the center console here. We'll move over to the steering wheel and the buttons on it, as well as the stalks behind the steering wheel and the screen and the gauge cluster. We'll move over to the left side here, and finally we'll look at some buttons up above in the center console up top there. Coming back to the touchscreen display here, we have some physical buttons which can control the things on the screen, or we can use the touchscreen display itself as well. Right now we're on the home page. We access that by either pushing the home button here or the version on the screen there. That takes us out of whatever function that we're in and puts us back to this screen here where we have access to the primary functions of the screen. You'll see phone, apps, Subaru Starlink, My Subaru, settings, media, and radio. We're going to begin by going to radio. And you'll notice down below that we do have a phone, radio, media, phone, and apps buttons down below as well, so we can access those functions using a button if we so choose. Looking now at the radio display here, you'll see the different sources of audio along the left side. We have AM, FM, and satellite. We have our presets along the bottom. There are multiple pages there of those. To change your station, we have seek buttons here and a tuning dial here. If we wanted to save a station as a preset, we simply choose the station we'd like to listen to and press and hold, and wait for that beep, and you'll see that station is saved there. Among the other things we have on the radio display here, we have our sound settings there, so bass, mid-range, and treble, along with fade and balance for the audio. We have here that in this case some channels have two different channels, or some radio stations have two different channels within them, which are actually different streams. So in this case that allows us to toggle those. That is our high definition radio, which is a clearer, better sound when it's available. We have replay here, which allows us to actually pause or rewind, fast forward with live radio. And then we have a scan button right up at the top there as well. Going back to the home page, we have our phone section that we're going to go to next. You'll see here we have no devices connected, and it's asking if we'd like to add a device. We're not going to do so right now, but I'll describe a little bit about how that works. If we were going to add a device, we push up in the top right hand corner there, add device. And then on your compatible Bluetooth device, open your Bluetooth settings, and then look for the Subaru system there in those Bluetooth menus to pair with the vehicle. Once you've done so, it will sync up things like your contacts and your call logs, so that you'll have that information available to you while you're in the vehicle, and you're able to make and receive phone calls hands-free there using that system. Going back to the home page, we have two functions here. We have Subaru Starlink and we have My Subaru, and those are both programs offered by Subaru that do require some form of a subscription slash plan that you subscribe to using a mobile device. If we go to apps here, you'll see that those are present along with Pandora, AHA, SiriusXM Travel Link, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are programs that run on their respective smartphones. That allows you to plug in your device to the USB port of the car and display things like your favorite navigation apps, Google Maps, Apple Maps, or Waze, as well as phone calls and text messages, along with music or podcasts or anything that way. Android Auto does need to be downloaded to an Android smartphone from the Google Play Store when necessary. The next thing we're going to go on to is, we're going to step over to the climate control down below. We have three dials. We have our fan location here. Simply rotate to where we'd like that fan to come out of. We have an auto function for this as well, where the vehicle will decide on its own where to send that air based on the temperature that you've set. If we push in the middle of that dial, we have the rear defroster and heated side view mirrors, and the front defroster is all the way rotated clockwise here. In the middle, we have the fan speed dial. Again, we do have an auto function for that. We have our recirculate mode in the middle of the dial there. And on the right side, we have the temperature control and air conditioning in the middle of that one. Looking back at the center console, we do have some controls here. We have our parking brake, which is electronic. Pull on the bottom to engage it, and put your foot on the brake and push on the top to disengage it. We have auto vehicle hold. What that will do for you is when you come up to a stop, the vehicle will hold the brakes for you and let you take your foot off the brake while you're sitting at the red light, and then as soon as the light turns green, you can push the gas and accelerate. In the middle, we have the button to turn off or the dial, I should say, to turn off the traction control for the vehicle. Simply rotate to the left to turn it off, and to the right to turn it back on. And if we push that dial in, we're going to access what's called X mode. You can see that there on the screen. And basically what that is the Subaru's off-road terrain button. So if you were tracking through the woods or driving through deep sand or mud or something like that, you can push that to activate that. We have heated seats here for driver and passenger, high and low settings for that. On the face of the steering wheel, we have the cruise control as well as some other functions. Our cruise control on-off switch is this here. You'll see when we turn that on, we get a display here in the gauge screen showing us that that's active. This vehicle is equipped with Subaru's EyeSight package, which gives you access to different driver assistance and safety features. In this case, with cruise control, we have adaptive cruise control. We have two buttons here on the wheel, this one here and this one here, which increase and decrease the distance interval that we'd like the car to maintain with the cars in front of us. The idea being that we can set our speed, but also set a distance that the vehicle will maintain with cars in front of us, given the distance that we've told it to maintain. So it'll slow itself down and speed itself up to basically move with the flow of traffic. To set the speed, once you're up to speed, click down here to set. Once you're set, if you want to accelerate, hold up on the plus sign to move up in 1 mile per hour increments. Click up once to move in 5 mile per hour increments. Same thing for the slowing down with the minus button there. This button here, we have our lane keep assist function. If where you have clearly marked road lines and you drift out of your lane, the vehicle, if you do not correct yourself, the vehicle can give you a steering correction to nudge you back into your lane. You can turn that on or off. You can use that at your discretion. Right beneath that, we have two buttons, an S and an I. You'll see when we push those there, we get the little display coming on. These are basically drive modes. S stands for sport, and I stands for intelligent. Basically just a sport mode and a normal mode for making the car feel a little more peppy, a little faster. On the left side of the wheel here, we have volume control for the audio, left and right arrows to cycle through our presets or skip tracks. We have source to switch between the different available sources of audio, such as AM, FM, Bluetooth, CD, whatever else is available. We have an info button here, which controls that screen there in the gauge cluster up at the top. You'll notice we have exterior temperature and current time there. We also have distance to empty, average miles per gallon for our trip odometers, current miles per gallon, I should say, average miles per hour, and then a blank page. We have buttons to answer or hang up and decline a incoming phone call here, as well as a voice command button. If you push that, you're able to give the vehicle a prompt as far as placing a call using contact name or phone number. Down below here, we have three buttons, two arrows, and a set button in the middle. And those control the screen at the gauge cluster there with what information that we have displayed. I'll try to zoom in on this so you can see that a little better. We have tire pressure, we have the gas used in our current drive, our digital speed readout, time covered in the current drive and distance traveled in the current drive, our average miles per gallon, and our distance to empty, that being how far you can drive with the amount of gas in the vehicle, average miles per gallon for trip A, and then we have a menu. If you pull and hold that set button, there's some settings in there that can be changed if need be. Looking at the stalks behind the steering wheel, we have windshield wipers here. Click up for a single swipe, click down for intermittent, which you can then adjust using this ring here. And then we have low speed and high speed all the way down. Your rear wiper, simply rotate the end of the stalk. We have the off position, the intermittent position, and the on position there. And you do the washers for the windshields, pull the stalk towards you for the front spray, and rotate the end of the stalk here, either all the way down to the bottom right there where my thumb is, or all the way up to the top right there, and just hold it for as long as you want the spray to go. On the left side, we have our headlight controls. Headlights are automatic, and they're set there now, so they'll come on once it's dark enough out, and turn off during the day, giving you daytime running lights. Your brights are there, push away to turn on, pull towards to flash, and then we have blinkers there as well. Up on the dash here, we have our trip button. We can cycle between trip A and trip B by pressing it, and to reset those trips, simply push and hold to reset them. On the left side, we have our little scroll wheel here, which we can use to adjust the brightness of the backlighting of our gauges and interior lights. And then we have an off switch for the auto start-stop function of the vehicle, where it will shut the engine off at a stop so that you don't sit idling any longer than necessary, and it refires the engine once you take your foot from the brake pedal. Looking at the door, we have window locks, window switches, door locks, and our mirror adjustments. Simply rotate to which side and move that like a joystick to adjust it. Looking up above, we have our dome lights here. We have an SOS and an information button. Those are part of the Subaru Starlink subscription-based plan, which does require an app on your internet-connected device or smartphone. We have the dome light settings here so that the doors opening turn the dome lights on. We have the off switch for the lane departure warning. Again, with clearly marked road lines, if you drift out of your lane, the car will alert you to that movement. It will not correct you. It will simply alert you. On the other side, we have the off switch for the forward collision mitigation braking. So if you're coming up on slower or stopped traffic and distracted and not slowing down, the car will first give you a series of beeps to catch your attention. If you do not slow down by then, the vehicle then can apply the brakes in specific situations. Right in the middle here, we have the sunroof controls for the panoramic sunroof. Simply push back on the back side to open and push on the front side to close it. And then we have a glasses case there. And on the underside of the rear view mirror, we have home link buttons for the garage door openers, so you can program your garage door into one of those three buttons. We have the power button right in the middle in the green there for the auto dimming function of the rear mirror. And then we have a compass display there as well. Those are the primary features of this 2019 Subaru Forester Premium. If you have any further questions, please refer to us at waltersautos.com, or feel free to call 269-375-7008 with any further questions or to set up an appointment. Thank you.